Jaya Gopi Janamalabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janamalabha Girivaradari Sonanandana Raja Janaranjana Sonanandana Raja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janabalama Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Nabalama Jaya Jaya Gopi Janabalama Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Sonanandana Raja Janaranjana Sonanandana Raja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janabalama Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Janabalama Jaya Sonanandana Raja Janaranjana Sonanandana Raja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Bihari. Jaya Rana Madhava Kunda Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupa Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shutur Shri Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Maha Mahotsav Avirbhav, Divine Appearance Day of Sri Balarama Bhagavan Ki. Balarama Jayanti Ki. Vidai Go Primanandi. All glories to the Assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to the Prabhupada Ki. Om Agyantamirandasya Gyanjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vanchukopaturubhyascha Kripasanubhyarevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. We are very grateful to all of you for attending this evening's festival. I'd like to first of all seek the blessings of all the assembled devotees, especially the very senior devotees that are here, Srila Prabhupada disciples and others, so that we can try to do some service for my self-purification in the matter of attaining the lotus feet of Krishna. So do I have the blessings of everyone here? You have to do like a tatastu type of thing. Let it be. Huh? Tatastu? Yeah, everyone should do. Do. Give blessings. Give the blessings. Otherwise artificial. Simply saying yes, yes, and thinking about something else. I always mention this point before giving these discussions, that Sutta Goswami is mentioned in the first canto of the Bhagavatam that the Supreme Lord is unlimited, Ananta. Interestingly, now we're speaking about Ananta, who's in our partial expansion of Sri Balaram. So Sutta Goswami is mentioned in the first canto that the Supreme Lord is Ananta, He is unlimited, like the sky. And so, just as different birds fly at different heights, in the same way, when different devotees speak about the Supreme Lord who's unlimited, they can fly according to their ability. They can speak something about the Supreme Lord. So there are different types of birds that are there. Some birds fly very high. I don't know what birds fly very high. Eagles, they fly very high. Vultures also fly very high. Although they look closely to the ground for dead things, they fly very high. Sometimes that happens to a devotee also. And there are other certain birds that don't fly at all, like ostrich. You know ostrich? Ostrich has a long neck. And his outstanding quality is that when there's a dangerous situation, he sticks his head in the sand, isn't it? To hide, as if the problem will go away by doing so. So I'm like that ostrich. I'm in a very dangerous situation in the present moment. In front of all the Vaishnavas, have to speak something. Unfortunately, there's nowhere to stick my head. I cannot hide. So that means I require, so much of mercy is required then. I have nowhere to hide. So, some enthusiastic faces, you can lend me your ears. I would try to speak something about the glories of Balaram and his significance in our life. And if you shall give the strength to do so, Balaram means one who takes pleasure, Rama, in exhibiting spiritual strength. And he is the source of all strength for all living entities. Chit Bala, spiritual strength. So unless he gives strength, then no one can actually do anything. I know we're very proud of the various things that we're able to do. But if Sri Balaram would not give the strength to do so, then we are actually completely helpless. So I am also one such helpless jiva. Just like Bhaktisiddhanta is told this thing, that the Mayavadis say, Daridra Narayana. Daridra Narayana means Narayana who has become poor, which doesn't make any sense because Narayana means the husband of the goddess of Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. So how can Narayana be poor? But they say Daridra Narayana, the Narayana who has become poor. So Bhaktisiddhanta said, we are not Daridra Narayana, we are poor jivas, having fallen into this material world and forget for our relationship with Krishna. So I am also one such poor jiva that requires the mercy of Balaram. And Sri Balaram becomes inclined towards those who shall get the blessings of his devotees. So I hope in your hearts you will keep the blessings pouring profusely, and we can try to say something. I'm not able to speak fully on realization on this topic because these are very subtle topics. Actually, it requires a high devotional acuity to actually penetrate these topics. That means a serious practitioner. Generally, to really dive deep into these topics, one should be at least at a steady place in his devotional service in order to dive very deep into these Baladev Tattva, this Tattva, that Tattva. So hardly we will be able to appreciate some of these things. But we'll try to do our best to speak something, and you also try to do your best to accept something. Is it okay? Haribo. So who is Balaram and Baladev in Tattva? Who is Baladev in Tattva? In truth, who is Baladev? Can anyone say? Everyone's scared. Krishna. Can you explain how he is Krishna? He says Baladev is Krishna. Does everyone agree with that? Yes? You don't know. I thought Baladev was Krishna's brother. But he's saying Baladev is Krishna. Everyone agrees with that? You don't know either, see? So much ignorance, huh? We don't want to be pointing out, no, I don't agree with that, you're wrong. We don't want to say. Baladev is Krishna, that is a fact. Actually, Baladev in Tattva is Krishna. Baladev in Leela, or in Rasa, is Krishna's brother and Krishna's friend. But in truth, in Tattva, Baladev is Krishna. But how is he Krishna? Can anyone say? We just say he is Krishna, just like parrots speak so many things. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. At the time of death, So similarly we're saying, Baladev is Krishna, but how is he Krishna? Do you know what you're saying? Parrot, repeating like a parrot. It's okay, we have to repeat like parrots. That's why I said, this topic, we hardly have much devotional realization. So we have to just repeat bullet points like parrots. It's okay, no problem. So he is, Krishna is Swayam Rup, Krishna is there in Vrindavan. Ete Chamshakalapumsam, Krishna is tu Bhagavan Swayam. So Krishna is the original form of God that he's called as Avatari. And he is that form from which all the forms are coming from. And that form resides in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Sri Vrindavan Dham ki Jaya. So Krishna's Swayam Rup, and he has his Swayam Prakash. His personal, Swayam Prakash means personal manifestations. And there are two types. His personal manifestations are two types. Does anyone know? Anyway, no one knows, I know. This is all Chaitanya Charitamrita stuff. One type is called as Prabhava Prakash, and another is called as Vaibhava Prakash. These are the two personal expansions, Swayam Prakash. These are the two features of Swayam Prakash. Personal manifestations of Krishna, Swayam Rup Krishna. So the Prabhava Prakash means, I should have mentioned this thing first before I mention this point. It's kind of funny. It's in Prabhupada Leela. One time, I think it's Tamal Krishna Goswami, he's having a debate with another devotee. I don't know if it's a Mataji, I don't remember. And the debate is, I think Tamal Krishna Goswami is saying the difference between Baladev and Krishna is that Baladev is white and Krishna is black. Duh. So then this devotee said, no, I don't think, that is not the difference between Baladev and Krishna. The difference between Baladev and Krishna is that Krishna enjoys with Radha and Baladev does not. So then they were having a big debate. So luckily at that time they had a very nice facility in the form of, you can just bring everything to Srila Prabhupada, very nice facility. Now devotees, they argue, then they write bad things about each other on the internet. But at that time they had a very good facility, they could just bring it to Srila Prabhupada. So they went to Srila Prabhupada with this dilemma. What is the difference between Baladev and Krishna? As we are also saying, Baladev is Krishna. What is the difference? So then Tamal Krishna Goswami, I say the difference between Baladev and Krishna is Baladev is white and Krishna is black. And Prabhupada said, you are right. So naturally, we all feel good when we hear that, right? Heard that, right? And then this devotee protested, well, I said the difference between Baladev and Krishna is Krishna enjoys Radha, whereas Baladev doesn't. And Prabhupada said, you are also right. So then, the devotee also felt very good. So then Prabhupada said, both of us can't be right. And Prabhupada said, you are also right. On that point, and since you are a manager, you figure it out. And then Prabhupada left. So this is very interesting. I heard this point. It comes in Prabhupada's Leela. So then, this Prabhava Prakash of Krishna, of Swayam Prakash Krishna, first expansion of Krishna. Prabhava Prakash means he has the same complexion as Krishna, and he has the same mood as Krishna. This is called Prabhava Prakash. So in the pastime of Ras Leela, we're not getting into esoterics here, but everyone has at least seen the picture before. So you see Krishna is dancing with all the gopis surrounding. And in the middle, there is Radha and Krishna. So the Krishna that is with Radha in the middle is? Swayam Rup Krishna. Scared to say loudly, just in case it's wrong. Swayam Rup Krishna is there in the middle with Srimati Radharani. And all the Krishnas that are dancing with the other gopis surrounding the Ras Leela is Swayam Prakash, Prabhava Prakash, expansions of Krishna. They have the same complexion as Krishna and the same mood as Krishna. Another example would be in Dwarka Leela. You know how in Krishna's Leela, he expanded himself 16 times, 16,108 times in all the palaces. And when Narada Muni saw, he said, okay, then he went to the other house. Krishna was doing different activities, everything. He got bewildered. So that is also called Prabhava, Prakash manifestation. Same complexion and same mood. But the Vaibhava Prakash is endowed with a slightly different complexion and a slightly different mood. That is called Vaibhava Prakash. This Vaibhava Prakash is the identity of Sri Balaram. What is the complexion of Balaram? Fair, he's white. So that the Tamal Krishna Goswami's answer is satisfied. And his mood towards Krishna, what is the mood towards Krishna? It's the mood of service towards Krishna. Krishna, it is Krishna himself. So this theme comes up quite often in Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. It is Krishna himself who has expanded to taste devotion to himself, to taste himself. This theme is a repeated theme, and it comes up in many chapters in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the first section. Chapter 6, most notably, is the most beautiful chapter of the Adi Leela Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it is Krishna who's expanded himself to taste devotion to himself. That is Balaram. Just like this is a theme you can meditate on as the discussion goes on. Would it be better to be honey or to taste honey? So when you're in the position of honey, you have so many tasty qualities. Oh, I don't know. Honey has maybe one or two tasty qualities. I don't know. I don't like honey myself personally, but but honey is usually the example that's given. Krishna is also called honeymoon face. So when you're honey, you have so many tasty qualities, but you cannot taste yourself. You're full of taste, but you cannot taste yourself. That sounds a little funny, but try to understand it in a transcendental sense. It's not like a dog or something trying to lick itself or something. It is Krishna has so many wonderful qualities, but he cannot understand completely from the position of being honey how tasty he is. So all the devotees there tasting the honey and having a very nice time, good party. So it's like you feel left out. So it's like if a devotee is taking some very nice prasad and so wonderful, and you feel left out. Oh, I want to also taste, but I cannot taste it because I have some disease of the stomach or something like that. Intended. For example, so Krishna has all these wonderful qualities. He cannot taste it in his position as Krishna. So he expands himself. This theme comes up many times in context of today's discussion. He expands himself as Balaram to taste himself, to taste the mood of devotion to himself. So Krishna has what is called as a sevya abhimana, means the conception of himself as the one to be served. We are very familiar about that in the material world, isn't it? Pakriti purusha stohi, bhungte prakriti jan gunan, I am the enjoyer. Ishvaroham aham bogi, I am the controller, I am the enjoyer. Who here thinks like that? Anyway, don't raise your hands. It's obvious. So that is called the sevya abhimana. That means the conception of myself as the one to be served. So that is actually Krishna's position. So we're all trying to be Krishna in this material world. Whereas Balaram has what is called as a sevaka abhiman, the conception of wanting to give service to Krishna. In fact, it is mentioned in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Bhakti Abhimana Mula Sri Balarame, that Balaram is the root of the conception of servitude to Krishna. So that means everything is actually stemming from Balaram. We're going to get into this in a second. Everything is stemming from Balaram. So also this conception of service is stemming from Balaram. So everyone has a mood of service towards Krishna, including the other incarnations of Krishna, including all the jivas, because they all actually stem from Balaram. We'll get into that only briefly so we can get into the main subject of the text. So Balaram is Krishna himself, but in the mood of service to Krishna, in order to taste what is devotion to Krishna. That is the identity of Balaram. So because he is Bhagavan also, Bhagavan means the enjoyer, isn't it? Bhagavan means one who is the enjoyer. This is the first thing we learn about Bhagavan's position. He is an enjoyer. So okay, you say he is Sevaka Bhagavan. He is Bhagavan in the mood of service, but certainly he must also want to enjoy because he's Bhagavan. Just like sometimes if you are rendering service, sometimes you want to enjoy also, isn't it? Not sometimes. In fact, you only rendered service because you thought that was an enjoyment. And then when you figured it out, it wasn't actually so enjoyable. Then you want to leave that position. Isn't it sometimes if you are serving, you want to enjoy? Just like, for example, suppose you have to wash pots. It is a very nice thing. We hear Gundicha Marjanam pastime. We feel, I want to purify my heart. Suppose you have to wash pots for 8 hours. Then you will feel happy? You say this is the bliss of devotional service is very nice. So sometimes you want to enjoy. So many times what's called as projecting. We project our material conceptions onto the spiritual reality. So he may be Bhagavan who is rendering service to Bhagavan in order to taste that. That's all fine and dandy. But certainly Balaram must want to enjoy also, isn't it? So we see in the Krishna book he also has what's called as the Rasa Yatra, where Balaram goes to Vrindavan to meet the gopis, to actually give a message of Krishna to the gopis. And it also appears that he enjoys with the gopis. And we say, see? He wants to be an enjoyer also. I've caught it. Anyway, we're not going to get into those details because of that type of subject matter requires adhikar, and it's a little controversial subject matter also. But the point that's being made here is even when Balaram takes a position where it appears that he's an enjoyer, he's actually only doing that out of service to Krishna. It is a very inconceivable thing to understand in the fettered position of consciousness. Just like another example may be given in this regard. Several examples. Sometimes it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita in this way. Sometimes the gopis will dress very nicely. Why do they dress very nicely? Because they know it is pleasing to Krishna. Why do we dress very nicely? Anyway, because I know it will be pleasing to some of the people I'm trying to catch on the opposite side of the room. So we dress very pleasing. We wear, just like I mentioned this point many times, why we wear very nice deodorants. We all wear nice things. Cologne. Who here wears cologne? Or some nice something for the body? Don't feel embarrassed. We're not trying to, even we make sure the soap is very fragrant, right? To make sure that the body, because if we were to smell the bodies, the natural odor of the body, we would all become immediately self-realized and realize the abominable position of material bodies. So oftentimes we try to delude each other, so we dress very nicely for the purpose of deluding one another. Never have I had conception of dressing very nicely for the pleasure of Krishna. It's very hard to even think like that. So when you see someone dressing very nicely, naturally you think they're dressing very nicely for some material purpose. So the gopis, they also dress very nicely, it's mentioned. But why? For the pleasure of Krishna. Well, immediately we would think it is for satisfying their senses. Similarly, sometimes the gopis will show anger towards Krishna. When Krishna will do certain things, they will become very angry with him. But why do they become very angry with Krishna? Because it gives pleasure to Krishna. Anyway, those things are a little esoteric, but not so much. The conception I'm trying to understand is, trying to bring out, is that by appearances we are easily deluded into misconceptions. That actually they're trying to enjoy when actually their only idea is to render service to Krishna. Balaram's nature is as service to Krishna. Just like you cannot separate fire from heat from fire. You cannot have heat over here and fire from there. So also you cannot separate Balaram's intensity to serve Krishna from Balaram's nature itself. So even when Balaram appears to be enjoying, he goes to enjoy with the gopis, it appears that he's an enjoyer, but actually it is simply for giving pleasure to Krishna. And it's a very hard thing to understand. It's very esoteric. I'm not getting into the details of that. But I wanted to bring out that point, that Balaram's existence is only for the purpose of service to Krishna. He has no other conception of himself. And there's a reason for that. So it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Krishna Dasa Abhimana Eyananda Sindhu. We may not experience this, but this is really a true statement. That the conception of oneself as the servant of Krishna is an ocean of bliss. Anyone has got experience like that? Ocean of bliss. I always joke with the devotees who are new, don't read the Srimad Bhagavatam too early. Because when you read about the devotees, first you read about Queen Kunti, how he suffered. Then you read about Prahlad Maharaj being tortured. You read about Parikshit Maharaj being cursed to die in 7 days. He said, this is what it means to be a devotee. You get to suffer. Every pastime seems to be having some suffering involved in it, doesn't it? It looks like so much suffering is involved. But actually, the conception of service to Krishna, even though they appear to be in so many suffering conditions, actually they're experiencing so much happiness by rendering that service to Krishna. That is a position of, if you were to multiply the happiness of spiritual life without Krishna, Koti Brahma Sukha, Etana Ekasindhu, it would not even equal a drop of the happiness and the conception of service to Krishna. So Balaram, he expands himself in innumerable ways to render service to Krishna. It is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. All these things I'm taking from sutras in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, not very elaborately explained. Only in sutras, you have to meditate on them yourself to get idea. So it is mentioned there that Balaram expands himself unlimitedly, but primarily in 5 forms to render service to Krishna. And for those forms, he expands the spiritual and material cosmic manifestation. Actually, it is described there as he is the presiding deity of what's called as the existence potency of Krishna. So he expands the whole environment in which Krishna is going to play. In other words, Krishna's playgrounds. Because he knows Krishna likes to play. Krishna is a, how you say? I was going to say something that I don't know if is appropriate. Krishna likes to play. I'll say that. And so he expands Krishna's playgrounds. So there's many playgrounds are there. There's Vrindavan Dham playground, very nice playground. We all speak about going to that playground. It seems like a very nice playground, isn't it? And then there's the Mathura and Dwarka Dham playground. All these are Baladev himself. There's his energy. Vaikuntha Dham playground. And this material world playground is also manifested from Baladev. Everyone likes this playground? This playground is filled with many obstacle courses for the pleasure of the conditioned souls. Just like you see at the playgrounds, so many obstacles are there. So this is a nice playground. There's also one of Krishna's playground. It's a very important playground, but I don't have time to describe all these things right now. So these playgrounds in which Krishna manifests his various pastimes are manifestations of Baladev. Therefore, you oftentimes hear us refer to the mridanga as Balaram. We hear for the harmonium. Everything is Balaram, manifestation of Balaram. Therefore, one has to treat it with the utmost respect. Even cleaning the temple, these are all manifestations of Baladev. This is Baladev Tattva. That all of these things are manifest because in his form is Shesha. In these 4 forms mentioned, Maha, Sankarshan, and Purusha Avatar, he expands the playgrounds. In his form is Shesha, he renders all types of services to Krishna. All types of services to Krishna means even becoming the paraphernalia on Krishna's body, like the earrings and his clothing, etc., the bed, the shoes. So these are all expansions of Balaram. So the material conception would have us see this material world and the paraphernalia in this material world as objects of our sense enjoyment. But therefore that mentality is offensive because ultimately, in essence, that means we're trying to exploit Balaram because they're actually manifestations of his potency. So then it is important for us to derive proper conception of this material world, of the spiritual reality. So all these things are manifestations of Baladev, and particularly Shesha, he is serving Krishna in so many variety of ways. Although his particular mood towards Krishna is as a friend, that's his particular mood towards Krishna as a friend, but he also renders service to Krishna, and he sometimes acts as Krishna's guru. In many situations, he's also acting as Krishna's guru. So it is saying that Balaram acts in relationship to Krishna in the above position, in the below position, and in between as friend. And all around, that's the environment. So in so many ways, he's rendering service to Krishna. If a jiva wants to get out of this material world, it is important for him to evolve this conception of servitude to Krishna. Without developing this conception of service to Krishna, which is stemming from Balaram himself, then no jiva can make it out of this material world. For those jivas who are very interested to leave the material world, any jivas here very interested to leave the material world, then it is important to develop the mood of service towards Krishna. So because Balaram is the first and who is expert in rendering service to Krishna, Balaram is also called as Guru Tattva. By taking shelter of Balaram as Guru Tattva, one will learn how to nourish the conception of servitude to Krishna so that he can get out of this material world. This is very important. So it is saying that Krishna, I don't have so much time, so it is saying that Krishna, if you ever seen pictures of Krishna and Balaram together, Krishna carries a flute, whereas Balaram carries a plow, and I think it's called gada. Gada means club, right? Gada? Haladar. It means club. You see, he carries these two things. Krishna carries a very nice instrument, isn't it? And Baladev carries these very scary things. Also, the plow doesn't even look very it's like this one stick, and then the plow is like this huge. And then the halas, they're very big. And Krishna's play very nice flute, very attractive. Because the idea of this is this is a very important point. Krishna plays his flute, if you were reading the Bhagavatam, when he plays his flute, it is for attracting the attention of the conditioned souls also, and for all the souls, all the living entities, both conditioned and liberated. When Krishna plays his flute, it attracts the attention of those who have fully evolved their service conception. So when Krishna plays his flute, how many of us even hear Krishna playing the flute? And even if we hear Krishna playing the flute, we'll say, so much disturbance is going on in the background. Can you tell him stop playing so loudly? We don't become attracted to the sound of Krishna's flute. Why is it that we're not attracted to the sound of Krishna's flute? Because there are so many unwanted things in the heart. So Balarama's Guru Tattva is carrying a plow. This is mentioned, many acharyas mention this point. So he carries a plow. Why he carries a plow? For cultivating the field of the heart of the conditioned souls who are bound up in a network of material illusion. Oh, so many anarthas. Weakness of heart, attachment to matter, fault-finding, enviousness, ooh, nasty, duplicity. So he has to pull out all these things because this plow refers to the process of sadhana bhakti, cultivation. Sadhana bhakti begins under the guidance of Guru. So taking shelter of Guru means to take shelter of Balaram, who will cultivate the field of the heart in order to nourish the conception of service to Krishna. And after the conception of, after you begin to purify your existence, before we thought we were very bad, and after you make advancement in Krishna consciousness, then you realize you are really bad. In the beginning, we think we are very good, actually. Isn't it? When we come, we think we're very saintly. Maybe I have one or two bad qualities, maybe. I have to really search deep inside my heart to find out what are the bad qualities. Might be one or two are there, but mostly I'm a good guy. Everyone will be thinking like that. Then when you make a little advancement in Krishna consciousness, you realize, I'm not so good. I'm kind of like a little messed up. And then when you make a little bit more advancement, when you're becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness, you realize, I am really messed up. Something's really wrong with me. This is the proof that you're advancing. If you're advancing and you think I'm becoming better and better and better, then something is happening terribly wrong. It probably means that you're without the guidance of Guru, and therefore you can think like that. So it so happens that when you start devotional cultivation, this plow represents sadhana bhakti, cultivation. The cultivation happens under the guidance of Balaram, who is manifested as Sri Guru, Sadguru. It happens under his guidance. He plows the heart, and then when you make more advancement, Mahaprabhu speaks about this thing. Along with your advancement in Krishna consciousness, then comes unwanted creepers that also crop up with the creeper of devotion. One very profound creeper is called duplicity, violence to jivas. These are the prominent ones that I mentioned. So after the cultivation process starts, Balaram has hala. Because after one begins to make spiritual advancement, then this is called Tarangarangini, one starts to think that I'm becoming advanced, so many people are liking me, I can speak so very nicely, I'm having so many wonderful qualities are developing. And that way we start to think that we are Mahabhagavatas, great, pure devotees of the Lord. Maybe not Mahabhagavata, but maybe just before Mahabhagavata, just a couple more days and then Mahabhagavata. So because that tendency is there, Balaram carries Gada. See, that's what I said. Who told Hala? Plow. And Gada, I meant Gada. Gada means mace. So he plays, why he carries Gada? Because he said, you're such a nonsense, you think you're a Mahabhagavata? And then Guru puts us back in our place. This is the meaning of his symbols. Represent. Many times we have a very, sentimental picture of Guru. The work of cultivating a soul in Krishna consciousness is very hard work. When we say Guru, don't misunderstand that we mean only the Guru whom we get initiated from. Sometimes people misunderstand that that's what Guru means. Guru, Tattva, has many manifestations, primarily as the Guru within the heart, Super Soul, also as the Diksha Guru, and also as so many Gurus who will give us instruction for our progressive life. They are all as Gurus, and they all are all manifestations of Sri Balaram. And they all have the service of carrying plow and carrying gada, mace. Plow for helping us till the field of our heart and sowing the seed of bhakti there in the heart that is given by Guru, and a plow to make sure that we don't deviate from the path. Just like earlier today we were washing dishes, and then as soon as you would blink your eyes, devotees would disappear. Where's this devotee? Where's that devotee? They would disappear. And I said, that's why we need gada. First you get them engaged in service, and then you make sure they stay. Hey, nonsense, get back in there. Watch those pots. This is the service of Sri Guru. So there are many pastimes. I'm not a pastime person. I don't like to tell pastimes, but I'll try to tell a couple pastimes here that illustrates the service of Guru, since this is the main, let's say, practical message for the members of our congregation, let's say ourselves. One pastime is very famous, Deidukasura. One time, the cowherd boys were wanting to offer Krishna some very nice fruits, which was in Talavan forest. So in the name of wanting to take the fruits for themselves, they say, Krishna, we are very hungry. We want to go to Talavan and get these nice fruits, but there's one ass demon is there. He's preventing us from getting the fruits. Actually, their whole purpose was to render service to Krishna. We would have told Krishna, I want to go to Talavan forest. Can you give me those fruits? And then we would have happily ate them. But their whole purpose was to actually get those fruits to offer them to Krishna. That was their whole purpose. Because that is the nature of love of God. They can only think of the service of Krishna. So Krishna and Balaram, because they're the doers, they very happily went to Talavan forest to meet with the problem. So Balaram, he went, and immediately when he saw the Talavan forest, he went to one tree and he started shaking it. Just to, show his prowess, because he's God. He can do that. We can't do also, we not do anything. We have no power. But Balaram, wanted to show his power, he started shaking the tree, and all the fruits started falling. So Denukasura is the name of the ass demon. He came running. He came running very fast, and then he turned around, and with his hind legs, he kicked Balaram very heavy. Balaram was not even fazed. That should have told Denukasura something. He kicked him very hard, and Balaram did not even move. Nothing happened. Intelligence wasn't working. You see, intelligence was turned off. That would have told me something. Big ass demon kicked, and nothing happened. Then immediately start running for life. But he wasn't a very intelligent person. So he second time went and tried to kick. Balaram grabbed his hind legs, and he spun them around so fast that he started vomiting blood. Krishna's leelas are very anticlimactic. It's not like a fight scene where it's like, oh my God, is Balaram going to lose? Balaram's like, no, I'm not going to lose. He just spun around, threw him in a tree, finished. He gave up his life. So this is another leela. I'm telling you shortly because time is running out. Another leela. One of Krishna's cowherd friends didn't come out to play one day. So one demon, Pralamasura, he took the form of that cowherd boy and he entered inside Krishna's arena. But the idea of killing Krishna and Balaram, that was his whole purpose. So then Krishna can understand, demon has entered amongst my midst, but what to do? I need to devise some plan. Krishna sometimes, by the influence of Yogamaya, pretends like he doesn't know what to do. Demon has come, what should I do? What should I do? So Krishna decided, we'll play one game. And in the game, it was like a hide-and-seek type of game. And the losers would have to carry the winners on their back. So Pralamasura thought he was very intelligent. He thought, I don't want to face this Krishna fellow because he's a little dangerous. So I'll be on Krishna's team, and if we shall lose, I'll be able to carry Balaram, and then I'll defeat him. So Krishna's team lost on purpose by the arrangement of Krishna. So the demon had to carry Balaram on his shoulder. So he began taking Balaram into the deep forest. So Balaram was acted as if bewildered. What's happening? What's going on? Then he could realize, this is a demon. So then he made his weight very heavy. So the demon was running. All of a sudden, weight was becoming very heavy. and then he could not maintain the weight, so he manifested his full demon form. Sometimes it happens. Demons try to hide themselves, and then they can't take it anymore, and then it comes out. So his full demon form came out, and then Balaram, again, very anticlimactic, and then everything was finished. Because he's God, he doesn't have to struggle. So, and by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is given this point that in Krishna's leelas in the material world, they're called Naimitika leelas. Naimitika leela means occasional pastimes. These pastimes of killing Krishna, killing the demons, do not happen in the spiritual world, they happen in this material world. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that these different demons also, these are actually historical events. They're not just nice stories, they're historical events. But it is mentioned that these demons also can be looked at as anarthas in the matter of our cultivation of Krishna consciousness. So most of the demons are actually killed by Krishna, but these two demons, Dhenukasura and Palamasura, were killed by Balaram. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions that this is a very important point, that if we can feelingly call out the names of Krishna in the matter of our cultivation of Krishna consciousness, then these other anarthas which are killed by Krishna can easily be overcome. If we can feelingly, that is itself a hard thing to do, but if one can feelingly call out the holy names of Krishna, then all these demons can be easily eradicated, the demons which were killed by Krishna. But in the matter of those demons which were killed by Palamasura, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, in this matter, the devotee will have to make some endeavor. So Dhenukasura represents ignorance. And Palamasura, amongst many things, represents duplicity, because he took on the form of cowherd and entered inside the arena of cow. It represents duplicity. So in the matter of our cultivation of Krishna consciousness, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, in the matter of our evolvement of the service conception, in the matter of receiving the mercy of Balaram in the form of the full evolvement of the mood of service to Krishna, then it is important for the devotee to overcome ignorance and duplicity in the matter of his development. This is not a very easy thing to do. How does one overcome ignorance? So Krishna has mentioned that in Bhagavad Gita, Ta vidi pranipratena paripashana sevaya upadesh antite jnanam garinas tatudarshinaha. So this tatudarshinaha means an expansion of Balaram. According to the subjective achievement of the individual sadhaka, he will be able to understand the Guru in different ways. In the beginning, we understand Guru to be as a representative of Krishna. Yes, that's how we... And usually the example is given as, how do you say? Ambassador, right? An ambassador, that example we've heard many times. But in this conception, we may think that the Guru is still fallible. Because an ambassador, anyways, ambassador is just representing, but he may make so many mistakes also. So in that conception of Guru, the tendency is to think that Guru is also fallible. And therefore to want to argue, to question the Guru, to maintain so many doubts about Guru and not reveal them, isn't it? So that is the beginning stage of development of our regard for Guru. That he is as, how do you say? He is as ambassador, representative of Krishna. But as we are making more advancement in Krishna consciousness, the regard for Guru has to be that he is a direct manifestation of Krishna, or Balaram. Direct manifestation means Acharya Mami Janayam Navamanyita Karisha. Krishna said this thing. Know the Acharya to be myself. Only with that regard for Guru do we actually hear the words of Guru. If we think that the Guru is a fallible creature like ourselves, then it would be very hard to develop Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna consciousness must be developed by the process of hearing from the lotus mouth of Guru, isn't it? Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, Chitete Koriya Akya. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the lotus words, by the words emanating from your lotus mouth. And then afterwards, I will ask so many questions because I'm having doubts about your position. This is going on. That is in the first conception of Guru. And a more evolved maturity of the disciple, he takes Guru to be manifestation of Krishna himself. Tattvadarshi means this thing. So by seeing Krishna in that way, then ignorance can become removed. Because when you hear with that regard, then the words get into the heart. Without thinking that Guru is in such a transcendental position, it is very hard for the words to enter into the heart, isn't it? We have experience. We were hearing, many times we hear the words go in this ear, and they come out this ear. So one devotee said that we should cover this ear. So that way the words will go inside this ear. But I said, if you cover this ear, it will go in this ear and come back out this ear. It will not stay. Because our regard for Guru is not in the proper position. Try to understand, regard will determine our ability to receive. Without proper regard, then there is no question of receptivity of the disciple, in which in case there could be no question of evolvement of the mood of service to Krishna. So that anartha of ignorance, which is represented by Jagannatha, is overcome by hearing from Guru. And the conception of, and the duplicity, which is represented by Prabhu, that one is a very difficult thing to overcome. That can only be overcome by gaining faith in Sri Balaram as manifested as our gurus. And, how you say? Revealing the things which are in the heart. This is a very difficult thing. Anyone has experience of this? Anyone has experience? Very difficult thing. So many things. Outside we look very nice. Everyone looks so beautiful today. Tilak, Dodi. We'll sing nice bhajans after this. Isn't it? But in the heart, there will be so many unwanted things going on, so many doubts happening and so on. So they said that can only be overcome by spiritual strength. Chit bala. That spiritual strength is derived from our sincere association with the spiritual master and revealing the things within our heart. If we shall do that, then we will be able to receive the full mercy of Balaram. And then in that way we can go back home back to Godhead. So Balaram is mercifully manifested as Nitai in this Kali Yuga. He's made it a little bit easy for us to at least keep a foothold by giving us the holy names of Krishna. So we sincerely chant the holy names of Krishna, we will generate more and more spirituality, by which we will gain more and more confidence in the position of Guru, by which we can take shelter of him, remove the ignorance, remove the duplicity, and perfect our chanting. And by the perfection of chanting of the holy names, which is distributed profusely by Nityananda, Balaram, then one can go back home back to Godhead very easily. So the glorification of Balaram is actually the glorification of Guru. That is actually the meaning, significance of this day. So when we should the take-home message is the necessity of nourishing our regard for Guru. And that way all auspiciousness is there, all perfection can be attained. That is the message of Balarama Jayanti that I will share from today. Are there any questions or comments? Shall we finish? Yeah. Sorry, we'll just take one or two. I know it's a little late.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Very enlightening. Prabhu, how do you know the qualities of a guru as the pure representative of Lord Balaram?
That only you get by hearing from Guru. That is the trick of the whole affair. Unless Guru shall tell you what is the position of a Guru, then how can you know what is Guru? You'll speculate. So then the tendency is to think, oh, he is glorifying himself. And then therefore, he is not a bona fide Guru because I don't see he has any humility. Like that. He does not have any humility. How can he be the bona fide Guru? Therefore, I reject him as Guru also. We have to learn about the position of Guru by hearing from Guru. Very dangerous situation, huh?
What if there are two gurus saying two different things?
That is possible. In fact, this is the bliss of spiritual life. You can be a thoroughly confused person after coming to spiritual life also. In fact, Prabodhananda Saraswati has told this thing also. He says, it is the age of Kali, the senses are very powerful enemies, and the path of bhakti is filled with many thorns. O Chaitanya Chandra, if you do not show your mercy to me, then being confused, what will I do? Where will I go? So the nature of coming to bhakti is that also many times we get confused, isn't it? One speaker will say one thing one day, next day the other speaker will say exactly opposite thing, and both things will be correct. And it will not be possible to reconcile from the position of lower subjective achievement, lower levels of advancement. So dilemma, isn't it? It's a dilemma. So then the dilemma is overcome initially, as Srila Prabhupada has taught this thing also in many places, I can think of many places in Gita. In the beginning, one should allow himself to be educated primarily by one person in terms of the various foundational principles of Krishna consciousness. Just like if you're learning physics, physics teachers may have a variety of ways of teaching physics. So you say, I'll learn physics from different physics teachers in the school. Then you will never learn physics. You go to one physics teacher, and they will teach you the foundational things, and very deeply, so that you're deep in the foundational things. Then when you hear from other physics teachers, then you're able to easily reconcile those things. And then in cases where you're not able to do so, then you can bring it to your physics teacher, because you know how he teaches, you know the mentality, you've been trained up. And this way one can make progressive advancement. Okay? We'll just take one more. I know I'm over time. Okay, I saw his hand first, and then...
Hare Krishna. So, is Guru Tattva similar to the Tattva that Lord Balaram is on? In the beginning you said Lord Balaram is Krishna. So I didn't remember which Tattva it was. Is it Krishna Tattva?
Balaram Tattva means Guru Tattva.
Guru Tattva, okay.
Manifestation.
Take another question, Prabhu.
It's already 7:40. Should I end? So we're going to end now, and further questions can be taken afterward. We'll have kirtan. Thank you very, very much for tolerating me. I hope it generated some thought processes on this day for you to do your own research. Spiritual life is meant for personal research, actually, and of course guided, but personal research. The spirit of investigation. So I hope to spark a little bit of the spirit of investigation on this particular topic with you all. Thank you very much for tolerating me. Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. Balarama Jayanti ki Jaya.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, can you all please not have personal conversations? Thank you.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vasitya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. That works. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Keep up. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Huh? That's fine. Huh? It's fine. It's speeding up.
He speeds up, right?
No. I wanted him to keep up. That's okay.
Usually he does it without anyone else.
Today's Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. What do you do tomorrow, though? What do you guys have tomorrow? Do you all have
Camp is still there.
Did you go to the camp? You don't go.
I went like one day.
Oh, you went one day. Did you go to the camp? Oh, you didn't go. Oh, you didn't go. Let's go. Everyone has to go, huh? Who?
Not has to.
They don't have to. Just go.
You help me out. Pretty much. There's a fixed umbrella pack in that. If they need help.
Thank you.
2 weeks ago? Like I said,